The Comfort One form is a mechanism by which a patient, along with their doctor, can execute a do not resuscitate order. And that is to be used when the paramedics show up at the patient's house. And one of the things that the Department of Health did is they also secured a specific type of bracelet that you want to wear at all times to indicate that you're a Comfort One patient, and that should the paramedics arrive on scene, whether at the patient's house or at the scene of an accident or something like that, that they know not to administer CPR at that time. And that's what Comfort One is meant for. Also, if the patient is brought into the hospital, into the emergency room, and the providers see that bracelet, then they will also honor that and not perform CPR. So a couple of important things with the Comfort One is it has to be both by the patient or the patient's representative as well as signed by the physician, because it acts as a physician order at that point in time. The other important thing is to make sure that you get the bracelet. It's one thing to execute the form, but out in the field when people are responding to emergencies or at the emergency department, they're not going to have time to find that piece of paper. That's why the bracelet is so important. So the MORPH form is relatively new in South Dakota, and it is gaining steam across the country in the various states. MOST stands for Medical Orders for Scope of Treatment. And again, this is something that's executed by the patient or the patient's representative as well as their physician. And it actually is an order set that the doctor has and the provider has issued to tell future providers what this patient wants in the event the patient is unable to speak for themselves. It is limited just for the end-of-life care issues. And so therefore it's limited in that respect, in that it talks about end-of-life care treatment decisions, artificial nutrition, hydration, the use of CPR, the use of ventilators, things like that, and other comfort measures that the patient does want. So you have the Comfort One, the MOST, which is the medical orders for scope of treatment. Then you have the living will, and then you have the durable power of attorney for health care. Once these documents are executed, this is one of the legal documents that you want to share with people. This is not something you want to hide in the drawer because obviously they need to be used in times when the patient can't make their own decisions. So things to do when you execute this document is to obviously share it with your primary care provider. Also share it with the hospital with which you're most likely to go to in case of an emergency. And they will actually store that as a medical record. Even if you've never been to the hospital before, had to be admitted, they'll start a medical record for you, if nothing else than just to have your advance directive on file. So, and then finally, make sure you talk to your agent if you're appointing a durable power of attorney for healthcare agent. Make sure they know they know this, and then give them a copy of it as well, and then talk to your family about it as well.